this historic day, where we celebrate the entry into force of the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, our first thoughts go to the Hibakusha and to the victims of nuclear testing. 75 years ago, civilian inhabitants of Hiroshima and Nagasaki became the first victims of an attack by atomic bombs, which killed hundreds of thousands of people and left many more to live with the injuries sustained during the attack or as a result of its fallout. This is an eternal scare on humanity's conscience, and there is no doubt that these actions amount to war crimes and crimes against humanity. We have yet to answer the appeals of the survivors to put an end to this threat once and for all. 75 years after these attacks, and 50 years after the entry into force of the NPT, the objective of total elimination of nuclear weapons has not been fulfilled. May this treaty be the founding stone for the achievement of this objective. The State of Palestine reiterates that the use of nuclear weapons by whomever, wherever, and for whatever purposes is morally and legally unjustifiable, as it is incompatible in all times and under all circumstances with the rules of international law. The use or threat of use of nuclear weapons constitutes the gravest possible breach to the foundational principles of international humanitarian law, including the cardinal principles of humanity and distinction. It is necessarily entails the commission of war crimes and crimes against humanity, given the indiscriminate short-term and long-term effects of these weapons. We therefore call for their immediate, complete, irreversible, and internationally verifiable elimination. The exceptional status enjoyed by nuclear weapons compared to other weapons of mass destruction can no longer be justified, nor can the NPT or its indefinite extension be interpreted as allowing indefinite possession of nuclear weapons. Nuclear disarmament is one of the three pillars of the NPT, and we reject the interpretation of this treaty as giving legitimacy in any way to the possession of nuclear weapons. The State of Palestine is thus proud to have participated in the elaboration of the historic treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons and to have been among the first to ratify it, having thus joined all conventions prohibiting weapons of mass destruction. We continue to call for a Middle East free of nuclear weapons and all weapons of mass destruction, and regret that a single country which has illegally acquired nuclear weapons continues to hamper such a prospect. We are grateful to all states which have ratified the treaty, and given the large support expressed by 2/3 of the countries of the world for the treaty, we hope many more will follow. We are also grateful for the relentless efforts of survivors, men and women of conscience, and of civil society organizations, including ICANN, that helped bring this day into being. For those who explain to us that nuclear weapons constitute a guarantee for international peace and security, we tell them they are the greatest threat. The first resolution adopted by the United Nations called for nuclear disarmament, as the nuclear race represented then, as it represents now, the single greatest existential threat to humanity. Men have developed the instruments of their own extinction. They must get rid of them before it's too late. The fate of humankind and of our planet and all the life it inhabits rest on our resolve and reason. May they prevail.